All right, here we are once again. We are back with what is sure to be another fantastic match. It's going to be hard to beat Osu TrueScale versus but P Model and Whispering Almond, two teams left up in the winners bracket semifinals here, competing for a spot in the top three and a guaranteed badge with a win in the winners bracket semifinals. P Model, the top seed out of qualifiers, Whispering Almond, the number 4 seed out of qualifiers. Both of these super teams a absolute bear to go up against for anyone, and this matchup surely to be a good one. My name is Dio. I'm going to be casting this matchup once again alongside Fiery Rage. How's it going, Fiery?
Good morning. I woke up at 3 a.m. Yeah, that's about it. I am ready to cast, though.
Fantastic. I am ready to keep casting. I am ready to keep on going here because these two teams are two honestly probably very evenly matched teams. You've got P Model, who as a relatively new tournament team name in the scene, captained by Skill, have been sort of swapping out members a lot throughout the year, but this iteration of P Model looking very, very strong. Several incredibly strong 1v1 tournament players on this team, and absolutely part of the reason why they got that number 1 seed out of qualifiers versus Whispering Almond, a team where you've got so many mainstays of the absolute top of performance in the tournament scene. Almost battle of new versus old in terms of how these teams have been put together, with lots of extremely familiar faces on Whispering Almond and lots of new faces who have put up incredible performances this year, alongside a couple old faces who are coming into their own in 2021. Nomad 2 as a first ban from Whispering Almond, I think works fairly well. Lots of very, very strong stamina players on P Model to take advantage of a pick like that with incredibly long 200 DPM streams all stringed together.
Yeah, and as you were saying, this is probably, in my opinion, I feel like this will top the match that we just saw, even though that match was absolutely insane, and it was a spectacle to watch, I'll tell you that much, but I genuinely feel like this match has the potential to overcome that. And it's going to be the Hard Rock 2 ban from P Model, the Slider Tech in the Hard Rock pool. And I imagine, just based off what I know of the teams personally, since I know pretty much every single player on both of these teams. That's the good thing about teams like this. I do think Whispering Almond probably goes for a Nomad Tech or Alt map here, so we'll probably be seeing Nomad 3 or Nomad 4 or anything similar to that.
Yeah, they've had a pretty good time with these sorts of gimmicky picks. I mean, you've got players like I'm a Fancy Lad, you've got players like Badu, Bartek, who are all very good at those picks. Kablaze as well, who is very, very strong on lots of these unconventional picks that you find in Mappools quite a lot of the time. Aryu as well, not even to mention. So a lot of players on this team can go in for and still do very well on a lot of these gimmicky sorts of picks. DT4 definitely counted among those very gimmicky picks.
Yeah, that is pretty much, I would argue, the exact same thing as Nomad 4. I wouldn't say the exact same, but it is very, very similar in terms of what skills it tests, and it is a banger song too. Like, that song slaps.
Yeah, 158 BPM after double time here for DT4. AR 9.67, so just AR 8 DT, and yeah, really focused on low BPM aim control, sort of like an alt map that you find in double time, still at AR 8, so really tricky to keep a consistent combo pulled together, similarly to how Nomad 4 functions with all of the different changes and how the flow aim is structured throughout the pick. It's one of those really unconventional, non-straightforward picks that requires mastery of a bunch of different, more intricate skills in the game, rather than one of those more straightforward mechanic tests like something like Nomad 2 or Nomad 5, which is the first pick for P Model, 260 BPM on that one, and relatively short, 2 minutes and 22 seconds, but Very, very difficult, very intense all throughout the map. A pretty raw test of your ability to play speed and high BPM.
After the Nomad 2 ban from Whispering Almond, not too surprising to see Nomad 5 come as a result of that. P model with speed players up their alley, such as Utami, Arnold, Sawada, Majora. Definitely going to be feeling confident on that map.
Yeah, you've got quite a lot of people who should be confident on that speed pick on P model. I do think it's interesting that they pick the speed immediately into Whispering Almond. You do have players like Ariu, Bubbleman, Bartek, Mathy, Kablaze is still fairly good at speed, Azerate still very good at speed, so there is an extremely competent speed roster here on Whispering Almond's side. And you look at the double time look at the double time stats at the bottom of the screen here, the double time rating for both teams at the bottom of the screen, 7.56 for Whispering Almond, 6.86 for P model. So in terms of the pure double time rating, it definitely favors Whispering Almond, and that is, you know, sort of 75-76% of the max score on any given double time pick for Whispering Almond throughout the tournament, 68-69% of the max score on any double time pick given throughout the tournament for P model. But you also have to take into account a lot of times DT4 gets picked up by these higher level teams. They're picking the trickier maps in the pool, especially into the lower seeded teams earlier on, and still doing well on them, so it doesn't necessarily reflect the ability to play speed from both teams. And if P model has all four of those name brand speed players on their team, they should be very, very comfortable picking Nomad 5.
And the Fremod 2 follow-up ban from P model does make sense as well. Wanting to stay away from that sort of finger control oriented map, I would imagine Whispering Almond's probably going to be picking up Nomad 6 at some point during their next pick. What do Whispering Almond ban in response to this? When you have such a well-rounded roster where you could pretty much just play anything, what do you ban? And it seems like it's going to be DT3, the burst speed-oriented map, at 270 BPM.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that, honestly. Like, the speed players on Whispering Almond, I think, will do far better on a speed map like Double Time 2, where there's a heavy focus on the finger control. You know, players like Bubbleman, Bartek, Kablaze, Mathy, I think are going to do a lot better on those more finger control focused picks at a lower BPM that still really do drain the stamina, rather than a high BPM, shorter burst focused map like Double Time 3, which is right up the alley of the two speed one tricks, Majora and Sawada, on the side of P model. Those two players are well known for playing extremely high BPM stream maps and doing very, very well on them, getting very high accuracy, you know, even up to 300 BPM, for example, in Majora's case. So I think that ban is very well advised from Whispering Almond. I think it's a pretty well-targeted ban. Arnold as well on P model's side is a player who, you know, if you're looking for somebody who can just play high BPM with no problems, is definitely one of theirs to go to. And it's still going to be a Double Time 2 pick anyway for P model, despite, you know, DT3 getting banned out, probably because DT3 Nomad 2 getting banned out, still sticking with the speed, in spite of the fact that it doesn't play quite as heavily into their speed players' hands. I think it's still a pretty solid pick for them.
Yeah, but going up against Whispering Almond's team on that, you got Bubbleman, Azerite, Bartek. That is already a scary lineup, and that's only 3 of 4 players.
Yeah, and then you're looking at either Mathy or Kablaze joining that lineup as the final player. Maybe even, actually, I'm a Fancy Lad joining in on a map like that. It's only 230 BPM. It is not that fast at the highest level for a lot of these speed players, so you can have players with that incredible finger control from, you know, being incredibly good at a lot of the more unconventional maps in pools, playing lots of tech, playing lots of ult, being very good at finger control. Once they train the speed, being incredibly good at picks like that. So definitely a scary roster to go up against. But like we said, you've got 2 one tricks on the side of P model for speed, and then you've got Arnold and Utami joining them as your last 2 couple of speed players. You're probably looking pretty solid on any speed map that gets played. Nomad 3, definitely works for Whispering Almond's strategy, going with those unconventional maps, starting off with the Nomad tech pick.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier, I was saying earlier, that I would imagine Whispering Almond goes for Nomad 3 or Nomad 4, and DT4 is basically Nomad 4, and now they go for Nomad 3. I imagine, given the free mod 2 ban, I still think Whispering Almond could pick into Nomad 6. Yep.
And there it is. Yeah, another one of those finger control picks, man. Variable BPM, variable timing signature, variable beat snap divisor. This map is mapped relatively simply given the song, but the song is just so out there that the map ends up being ridiculously hard to time anyway.
It is an absolute test of finger control and just general rhythm consistency, that map. What does P Model finalize their pick with? They don't have any speed maps remaining unless they want to go for DT1, which is more aim rather than speed. Actually, I would argue pretty much exclusively aim, for that matter, as the bursts in that are only around 5 notes long.
And we've talked a lot about the speed roster on P Model, but they do also have some pretty good hard rock players here. Reedcat, for example, on their team. You've got Skill on their team. I would be scared if I were Whispering Almond of the potential for this team to do incredibly well on something like Hard Rock 3, or even Hard Rock 1 if they're not feeling the precision pick right now, and it is going to be Hard Rock 1 instead. Those Hard Rock players and that lineup for P Model are very scary, very, very good. Probably Skill and Reedcat joined by, I would say, Intercambing and either FG Sky or Utami. FG Sky has been in on quite a lot of maps for this roster. Could go in on that Hard Rock 1 pick there at the end of the pick ban phase. But there we go, into the first pick now for Whispering Almond. It is DT4 is their first pick, so we are going to be getting into it in just a second. That double time alt pick.
Cat Jam.
Cat Jam.
You're not hearing it right now, but you will hear it in a second, and you will Cat Jam.
We'll get there when we get there. About a minute left to go. We talked about this map a little bit. It's one of those really unconventional maps in the pool. Very focused on low BPM aim control, low BPM streams, rather than the high BPM speed focus that you usually associate with double time. And that's why Whispering Almond is picking this into P Model rather than the other way around. You see P Model picking Nomad 5, double time 2, and going with the sort of raw mechanics tests that are left up in the pool alongside Hard Rock 1. DT4 definitely not that. Lots of really tricky changes in flow aim and high spacing between some patterns as well. That makes this a really difficult test of that aim control.
And it seems like we're going to be getting into it shortly here. Imagine, well, you could pretty much put any player from either team on this map, and they would probably do just fine. As the bonus to having such stacked teams as these, you can just put pretty much anyone in for anything and you'll be fine, but it will be seemingly Badu, Airyu, Bartek, and Fancy in for Whispering Almond. That is a lineup and a half for alt maps, especially double time.
Yeah, this is a really interesting lineup for both of these teams. I'm actually a little surprised to see Majora in for this map in DT4. I would have expected like FG Sky in or Intercambing in instead of Majora, but clearly still good at these more gimmicky double time picks here because he is in on this roster instead of one of the all-rounders on this team. Tommy, Arnold, and Reedcat joining him for P Model, but do Airyu, Bartek, and Fancy Lad in for Whispering Almond on the low BPM aim control double time pick, looking like a very strong roster for them. I would be scared.
Also, I do want to mention, you were kind of questioning Majora on this, but I feel like this caters more towards his skill set as well. Low BPM, or not really low BPM, but just double time alt in general, he's very good at. So I do understand why he's in for this, but we'll be getting into the map right now.
Yeah, fair enough. Majora is sort of just a double time main, plays the double time mod all day, so it's not that odd to see him in for a pick like this. Does find an early slide break alongside Utami on that side. Fancy Lad with a couple of early misses here though, and overall accuracy in the favor of P model at this point. Mostly due to the difference between the three supporting scores. Arnold, though, dropping the combo once again now, so combo lead back in the favor of Whispering Almond. That's what really matters. If they can hold on to the combo lead for an extended period of time, it will build up a score lead for them.
Yeah, this map is very consistently difficult throughout the entire map, though. There's not really any part that you can pause and sort of take a break on except for the break, which is almost near the end of the map. So you're going to be way more nervous at that point than anything. Arnold does find another miss, which will keep this combo advantage in Whispering Almond's favor. Utami as well. Finding him as Reed Cat, the only remaining FC on P model as well, dropping, and it's just... This is a three-way FC, and Fancy with a very high combo compared to Majora only holding combo on P model. This is looking like a very dominant pick for Whispering Almond to start things off here.
And there goes Majora as well. So no combo whatsoever on P model's side. It is just Whispering Almond looking to amass as much score lead as possible at this point. We do see misses from Aryu and Bartek. It's not going to matter all that much. It's really just a question of how big the score lead is rather than whether they take the point. But Dew does drop the last full combo left up in the lobby. Fancy Lad reverse choking this map at this point. Does still have that high combo going right now, so looking looking quite dominant here on double time 4 for Whispering Almond. Fancy's gonna see he has no need to even hold on to the combo. There's gonna be no nerves going into the ending here, so he's likely gonna be able to complete the reverse choke and make the score lead pretty high for his team. Really nicely done from Whispering Almond on their first pick. Sort of no question all throughout the map whether they were going to take that.
Yeah, the lowest score is a 670k from Aryu on that map, which is honestly quite ridiculous. No FCs across the board. One misses from Majora and Fancy, and Bartek. And just, that is a very solid overall team performance from Whispering Almond on that pick. Definitely a very good first pick for them. And now we're going to be getting into P Model's pick, Nomad 5, the speed-oriented map in the Nomad pool. Got to imagine with P Model's speed players, they have to be feeling pretty confident, especially considering they picked DT2 immediately after this. Definitely wanting to lean in heavily on those speed-oriented players. Just waiting for the teams to get their rosters assembled. Not too much to say in regards to this map. As we did say, it is essentially just a speed map. This is just testing your raw burst speed ability. And we're going to be seeing the speed lineup that we were talking about earlier. Utami, Majora, Arnold, Sawada in for P Model, and it will be Matthew, Bubbleman, Bartek, Azurite in for Whispering Almond.
This is a very strong speed roster for P Model. They did not have this roster together in the quarterfinals, and they were still able to win speed picks even so. So this is a very strong roster when completely put together, and I expect them to be able to take full advantage of it here in this matchup. There is a reason that they picked both Nomad 5 and Double Time 2 here, why there were multiple bans against speed on this team. Nomad 2 and DT3 banned out. Hopefully they're going to be able to show off a little bit here on Nomad 5. We do see a very early break for Majora come through on the side of P-Model. Unfortunately for them, Whispering Almond, no slouches. We do see Bartek and Azerate drop a couple of combos as well. Mappy and Bubbleman, however, still holding on to those 2 FCs. 3 FCs intact for P-Model right now, only Tommy, Arnold, and Sawada.
Yeah, Bartek and Azerate actually struggling quite hard in the early stages of this map here, as well as Sawada on the accuracy, but the combo is what matters. Combo is king, after all. Everyone holding despite that. Utami with the slider break, I believe, right before that spinner. Bartek does trade it, so it won't be an entire disaster quite yet.
Yeah, look at the full combos, though, for Whispering Almond. Matthew and Bowman. Matthew at 98.6. Bowman at almost 97% accuracy as well now. So higher act on both of those full combos than Arnold and Sawada. Arnold close behind Mappy, just now pressing for a second 98% accuracy. But it's Majora's supporting combo that is doing a lot of work in keeping the score lead on P-Model's side. Better combo than Azerate, especially now with that drop from Azerate. That is a whole supporting combo lead for P-Model. Actually gone now as Sawada drops that full combo for P-Model. Arnold left to stand alone. Has Majora as backup alongside Utami, but is the sole full combo left up for P-Model now. This is what we were talking about. This speed roster from Whispering Almond can still make this map very close.
Yeah, that drop actually might be very impactful, especially if we see any more in the ending seconds of this map here. You can see that score gap is closing quite rapidly. Sawada with continued misses. It's going to make this even more close.
Yeah, but with Mappy dropping here, it doesn't look like it's going to go over. There's only Bubbleman's full combo left up. And I think that is the saving grace, so to speak, for P-Model. Able to hold on to supporting combos from Majora and the full combo from Arnold to combat Bubbleman's. So they are able to come out on top.
That is an insane FC from Arnold, by the way. 97.35% for him. Bubbleman at a 96% FC. Majora, Matthew also holding near 98% on this map. With 1 misses. That is insane. Utami as well with the S rank.
For context, the full combo that we saw from KHZ in the previous match was just under 98% hack as well, 97.77%. So that accuracy from Arnold really is incredible. He is. That was a really, really fantastic score, and I think that bodes very well for their chances on Double Time 2. They had almost 2 FCs come through for P-Model. Similarly for Whispering Almond, Bubbleman with a very, very strong score still on the slightly lower accuracy full combo. It's not like they were all that far behind. A couple of misses here and there go differently, and suddenly the score is very, very close. So Whispering Almond still in contention to take breakpoints on these speed picks. P-Model still need to be on their toes, need to go into each of these picks expecting to be tested by the opposing team, because that is just the caliber of roster that you get when you are top 4 in the Corsace Open.
We'll be getting into DT2 here. A lot more finger control oriented than Nomad 5 rather than just raw speed test. And we do see Fancy swapping in, so as you were saying, this is more, because of the low BPM, a lot more finger control oriented rather than speed oriented, and this is right up Fancy's alley.
Yeah, slightly more accessible speed pick than something like Double Time 3 or Nomad 5, where, you know, 260, 270 BPM. You need to be a high BPM player in general to do well on those sorts of maps. 230 BPM, far easier to build up to if you are not a typical speed player. And Fancy Lad, definitely known for some incredible finger control, should be very comfortable on a map like this. Let's see how the accuracy goes on this map. Right now, it's actually favoring Whispering Almond ever so slightly. The high accuracy from both Matthew and Fancy Lad doing wonders for their overall team score. Tommy matching that act, but everybody holding the full combo right now, a quarter of the way through.
These constant break times, players are going to be seeing that everyone's holding combo. And they know as soon as one misses, that's going to be it. Azerite with the first miss.
Yeah, there's still a lot of map left to go, though. Even this middle section, not quite the most difficult part of the map. We do start to see act drops from Fancy Lad as well on the side of Whispering Almond. Bartek dropping down some of that act in addition. Matthew still holding 99.5. Even Utami dropping the accuracy down as well. 99.5 from Matthew on this is sort of insane, but it doesn't matter because the combos are still there for P model. Still on the 4 FCs. Azerite still the only miss on either team so far, as both teams looking incredibly comfortable on this pick so far. It's rough accuracy for Sawada on the FC, but that doesn't matter as long as he can hold. That's really the qualifier for this. If you can hold the combo, you're going to keep the score on your side for P model. But if they do break, the accuracy is in the favor of Whispering Almond, and they should be able to take it back relatively quickly. There's another slider break from Azerite, however, and it's looking less and less likely that this becomes a break point. Looking better and better for P model.
Yeah, but now we're getting into the finger control intensive part as we say that. It seems like everyone's just nailing this section right now. Majora going to be the first one to drop. And that is not answered by Whispering Almond.
Looking still very, very close, however. Matthew's accuracy dropping below 99% for the first time, still up 2% on anybody else in the lobby. 98.9% accuracy on his full combo. And the score lead is starting to edge toward Whispering Almond ever so slightly. Azerite's accuracy doing a little work in keeping them together. So Wada drops as well. No more full combo there. Fancy Lad, however, answers it on the side of Whispering Almond. And that means it's 2 full combos to 2. Both supporting scores having dropped very recently for both teams. Means that these full combos are just going to be doing all the work. And it's likely going to stay on the side of P model. They need to hold, however, for Utami and Arnold in order to make that happen because the score is so close. It's just 100k, just barely in their favor. But no, Fancy Lad was Bancho, and it's 3k in the favor of Whispering Almond!
3,000 wait, what just happened?
We got Banchoed. We just got Banchoed, and Fancy Lad full combos the map, 94%, 999k. Unfortunate for P model, because man, it was looking great on our side, and then we just get trolled. So 1-2 now, our first breakpoint coming through on Double Time 2. And that is what we talked about, the finger control pick, the lower BPM pick. Fancy Lad comes in, does his job, and gets them the breakpoint.
I am unreasonably upset right now. That would have been so intense. And we only just got to see the end. I'm mad. That is still a 3-way FC from Whispering Almond on that map, which is absolutely ridiculous. Matthew's hack on that, 98, high 98, is completely ridiculous. And it's not like P model didn't have FCs either.
No, they had the full combos. They had 2 FCs on Arnold and Utami. It just wasn't quite enough to stave off 3 FCs. Matthew, like you said, the highest ACK in the lobby by over 2%. 98.77% ACK is incredible on that map. And then, of course, Fancy Lad and Bartek rounding it out with 2 more full combos. The supporting scores just not quite there for for P model, excuse me. And now we get into Whispering Almond's second pick, No Mod 3. It's followed up right immediately afterwards by Nomad 6 as well. So 2 picks in a row. They have the chance to close this out 4-1 if they can win both of them.
And we're going to be getting in the tech lineup here from Whispering Almond. Airyu, Badoo, Fancy, Bubble Man. Will be Utami, Reedcat, Intercaming, FG Sky on the side of P Model to counteract this, but you're going up against a tech lineup that is, that's a tech lineup.
Yeah. This is a pretty, it's a pretty scary tech lineup. Airyu, Badoo, Fancy, and Bubbleman on tech, but even for P Model, also, like, Utami, Reedcat, Intercambing, FG Sky on a tech map like this is also just so scary. Both of these teams are so well matched against each other. It's really impossible to, you know, decide a victor right from the start. But Whispering Almond are picking this map. They've got some really, really fantastic tech players on this team. You have to assume that they do very, very well on this pick, as they did on Double Time 4 as well, which was pretty one-sidedly in their favor. So we'll see what they can do here on Nomad 3. So far, it's looking like both teams are pretty comfortable. Still 4 FCs a quarter of the way into the map.
There's a 1/3 pattern that I want to look out for in particular. Bowman is actually going to be slider breaking before that, but this 1/3 pattern coming up right here is what I want to pay attention to. Wow, no one misses it except Bubbleman. Okay, Bubbleman is the only one. Okay, FG Sky finally does trade that drop. So it's 3 FCs to 3 accuracy advantage in favor of Whispering Almond right now as we get into the later stages of the map.
This is a really close map. Airyu also dropping, I think you were about to say. Apologies for the interruption there. We've got Badoo and Fancy Lad still holding on to the full combos. FG Sky dropping, Fancy Lad dropping as well. Utami, Reedcat, and Intercambing are just going right now. Still full comboing here for P Model, and suddenly the shoe's on the other foot than it was in Double Time 2. P Model looking to take a break point with 3 full combos intact, 3/4 of the way through. Intercambing finally drops, but Reedcat and Utami are looking to continue the advance, continue flying the P Model banner here.
Intercaming with the several misses on those flow aim sections actually is kind of making this quite scary. The score gap is not that big. Utami missing as well. It's just Utami, not Utami, Reedcat versus Badoo right now, and this score gap is closing rapidly.
Yeah, look at the supporting scores from Fancy and Bubbleman. They've both recovered so well here. And at the end of the map, it's Intercambing and Utami just unable to hold on to the full combos quite long enough, despite the FC from Reedcat. The AC is not quite there. Badoo completes the full combo for Whispering Almond, and the supporting scores from Bubbleman and Fancy are enough to pull them back over the edge. That is 3-1 for Whispering Almond.
Going on match point into their next pick, Nomad 6. P Model did ban Free Mod 2, and this is more, I would argue, pretty similar to Free Mod 2. So if they're not entirely comfortable on this sort of style of map, I guess we'll see what happens.
Well, they're going to have to make their own comfort at this point for P Model, because it's 3-1 for Whispering Almond. They are at match point here, or rather at set point. Right? We don't do just a best of 7 between these two teams in winners semifinals. We are on best of 3 sets right now in this series between P Model and Whispering Almond. So after this set is over, don't go anywhere. You are still going to have another set to watch between P Model and Whispering Almond, regardless of who wins this first one. The first team to take 2 best of 7 sets wins the match overall. Also want to shout out, after this match is over, after the best of 3 series between these two teams concludes, we are going to showcase all of the maps for the finals pool. If you think some of these maps look difficult, they're going to be taken up another level in the finals pool. And honestly, when Nomad 6 is already this weird, I'm excited to see exactly what it looks like in finals. This one here, Dracophobia, scary sort of song. Lots of different beat snap divisors, lots of different timing points, lots of different BPMs all throughout this map, and the constant swaps between all of those different timings makes it so difficult to act this map, even while it is mapped relatively simply all throughout the pick. Just the song itself makes this pick so hard to act.
We're going to be having a little banjo moment trying to get this map started here. Oh, that was an abort, actually. My bad. But we will be getting into it now. It's going to be Utami, Arnold, intercaming FG Sky on the side of P Model, Bartek, Kablaze, Bubbleman, Badu on the side of Whispering Almond. Let's see what they can do on this Nomad 6-finger control pick.
Don't see Fancy Lad in for this, actually, which is really interesting after he comes in and full combos double time too, demolishes that pick, no longer in for Nomad 6. Instead, you've got Kablaze and Bubbleman joining Bartek and Badu for Nomad 6. Utami, Arnold, intercamming and FD Sky in for P Model. Overall accuracy right now in the favor of P Model, as Bubbleman does find the first combo drop on either team. For Whispering Almond, still 4 full combos for P Model. 3 FC is still left up for Whispering Almond as well. It's not like this is a very big score lead right now. It's still only around 70k or so, and there goes FG Sky's combo. So now it is 3 full combos to 3, and better supporting combo for Bubbleman than for FG Sky, but Bartek also finds a drop, and now it's a full combo advantage in P Model's favor. Unanswered drop from Bartek on Whispering Almond's side, but this aim control section is so difficult. It's so easy to miss aim in this part. And it looks like just about everybody makes it through.
That is actually insane. What happened there? No, none of the players missing there. Utami and Arnold and intercamming.
Oh my god.
What just happened?
And they all, I think they figured the aim control section was over, but the linear jumps into the wide angles afterward catch them off, and they all drop their full combos. It's just FG Sky who holds on for P Model, and unfortunately he is not enough. Badu and Kablaze still hold the full combos intact for Whispering Almond. There goes Badu, does find a miss aim, but Kablaze, she's going to be there to back up the rest of her team, and 90% act or not is going to be a large part of the reason why Whispering Almond complete set 1 with a 4-1 victory over P Model. Really nicely done from those 2 near FCs for Whispering Almond. Kablaze with the FC, Badu almost there. That complete collapse from P Model in the middle of the map, just completely giving over that point. And now it is a 1-0 set score for Whispering Almond after a pretty quick set 1, 4-1 in their favor.
And I think we're just going to be getting right into set 2 here. Not too sure if either of these teams want to be taking a break right now, but we're going to be at least getting the match bans over with.
Yeah, it looks like we're probably running right into set number 2 here. Neither of these teams wanting to take a break after a pretty quick set 1. I think the pick ban strategy is still relatively the same for both of these teams, right? Even though P Model lost double time 2, they lost it by 7,000 points. It's not like that was a decisive win at all for Whispering Almond. So, 2 misses for Sawada, 1 miss for Majora. Those misses don't happen, and suddenly it's 4 million team score, right? They're definitely able to put together a higher team score than what they had, even with those 2 full combos from Utami and Arnold. I think they can still reasonably pick into those speed maps. And I think because of that, it's probably still a double speed ban from Whispering Almond, likely match banning either that Nomad 2 or Double Time 3 that they did ban out earlier on, probably also banning out either Nomad 5 or Double Time 2, because again, while Double Time 2 was a win for Whispering Almond, it was an incredibly close map regardless. Whereas for P model, you did see the Hard Rock 2 and Free Mod 2 bans originally. After that, No Mod 6, I think they can be a little confident on Free Mod 2. It was still relatively close without the team, all missing right at the same point there. It's likely a pretty close No Mod 6, so I think keeping the Hard Rock 2 match banned out. Maybe they still ban out Free Mod 2, No Mod 6, but I'd look to ban DT4 if I were P model, frankly. That pick was very one-sided from Whispering Almond.
I definitely want to just stray away from those sort of alt-oriented maps. Unfortunately, if they do ban DT4, that still leaves No Mod 4 open, which is more or less the same story as DT4 in terms of what it tests. It's going to be a match ban. No Mod 2 from Whispering Almond, not too surprising. Hard Rock 2 from P Model. So the first bans from both teams going to be the match bans that are carried over as we get into P Model's first ban here. And like you were saying, you gotta think that they probably just banned DT4 straight up here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, after, an 830,000 score lead for Whispering Almond, I'm not sure why you would leave that up. Even if you can say, okay, well, there was one miss from Majora, so that could be a pop-off score for us. Fancy Lad had one miss. Bartek had one miss. They've got those pop-off players who can increase that score lead even further. And yeah, there goes Double Time 4. No surprises there.
Could see a potential No Mod 5 ban here from Whispering Almond. I'm not too sure they will go for that, but it is possible, as that is the map they lost in the last set.
Yeah, definitely possible. I mean, if you do lose a map, you're liable to ban it out. I think a No Mod 5 ban is completely fine from Whispering Almond. They might also ban out Double Time 3. That is the other DT pick that they did ban out in the first set. Left up Double Time 2, and that did work out for them in set number 1. So might just go ahead and ban out Double Time 3, leave up either No Mod 5 or DT2. But either way, it's one of those high BPM picks that's likely going out the door, and there's No Mod 5, so leaving up DT3 this time around, I think, is probably the first pick this time for P Model, and there it is, no hesitation. The 270 BPM Double Time pick, a little more straightforward, I think, than No Mod 5, but very, very high BPM right up the alley again of players like Utami, Arnold, Majora, Sawada, who are going to be the roster for that map for P Model.
And I imagine Whispering Almond is going to be following up their pick with No Mod 4 here, or No Mod 3. Although No Mod 3 was a bit closer than I think they would like. So I do think it's probably, realistically speaking, going to be No Mod 4 here. Get that other alt map squared away and just get what you know that you are comfortable at.
I can mostly agree with that. They didn't go for No Mod 4, funnily enough, in the first set. Maybe partially because DT4 was still available, maybe partially because some of the players on this team aren't comfortable with it. We'll have to see. It would be a little odd to be comfortable on DT4 and not No Mod 4, but sometimes small differences in the map can make all the difference, and they're going to go with No Mod 3, so they're going to stay with what they've already won on. It's tried and true. They already won it the first set. No reason to change it and pick something else first here in the second set. Let P Model ban out something else that you've already played before you reveal any of your other picks that you might have, and that's exactly what they do here. So likely banning out, I would say, DT2, just because of how close it was in the first set. You might also now, if you are Whispering Almond, look to ban out what you suspect would be the next skill set in line for P Model to pick into, namely the Hard Rock, either Hard Rock 1 or Hard Rock 3, because of how good that Precision roster is, how good the Hard Rock AIM roster is coming out of P Model.
I do think, realistically speaking, it probably is a DT2 ban from Whispering Almond here, but I would not be surprised to see a more generic-oriented map. We could see Nomad 1 or Hard Rock 1 banned, for example. They are feeling confident on DT2, as both teams had insane scores on that overall, but it will be the DT2 ban for Whispering Almond. P model, I'm going to wager that they're going to be banning Nomad 6. Without the unlucky misses, sure, it could have gone their way, but I'm not too sure they want to deal with that, as Whispering Almond definitely also can do a lot better on that map as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, you've already gotten DT4 banned out. The other team picks Nomad 3 right afterwards, right? It's only fair to assume that they are going to pick Nomad 6 again after they won on it. So I think you're probably right. Yeah, sure, you have some players who could have performed a lot better on the side of P model, but then again, you've got some players that could have performed a lot better for Whispering Almond as well. But you doesn't miss that. You have 2 full combos on Whispering Almond's side, so it's definitely still a good map for them to ban out. If they don't go for something like the Nomad 6, they could also ban out Fremod 2. That was their second ban in the previous set, so either way, probably one of these more finger control focused picks that's getting banned out from P model. I wouldn't expect them to stray away from those 2 bans just because you don't want to reveal even more of your cards than you already have. And
okay.
They ban out Hard Rock 1. I'm very confused. I will not lie, I'm very confused.
You go from picking Hard Rock 1 last from the first set to now banning it, and it wasn't even played, mind you. I'm not too sure if that's actually their ban or if something got messed up here. If that is their ban, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, we're trying to get confirmation just to make sure that this is their ban and it wasn't an accidental misban. And yep, they meant to pick it. All right. So they did not mean to ban Hard Rock 1. They wanted to pick it. Wow. Yeah. Just misreading Banner's pick.
Stage.
Yeah, we are in semis. We are in semis. Truly a semifinals moment. Fremod won the next pick for Whispering Almond. We saw that last round between Osa's True Skill and the Skill Cap map, basically, name of the game there. Lots of really tough 274 BPM jumps in that map. 7.5 stars with Hard Rock on those jumps, and a lot of 1/3 streams right around 181 BPM if you do the math on the conversion. So lots of tricky flow aim on Hidden and lots of really high star rating jumps on Hard Rock or Nomad.
Now I imagine the ban is going to be reverted at some point here, since they did want to pick Hard Rock 1 first.
And yeah, we are...
It is not reverted.
Yeah, they are...
It is not going to be reverted because they should have paid attention. Okay, the Hard Rock 1 ban will stay, and they're going to be picking DT1 instead.
Well, inadvertently, they've been sort of forced to show some other cards here near the end of the second set. Double Time 1. Similar enough, right? You're still looking at generic inconsistency at a higher BPM and a higher approach rate. So it's going to be relatively similar to what they wanted to do in Hard Rock 1. And I feel like for the last pick, you probably go with something like a Hard Rock 3. If you are P model, your Precision roster, your Hard Rock roster is very, very strong. Granted, the same can be said for Whispering Almond, but if you're only picking where you think your opponent is weak, you're not really going to find any holes in a roster of any team in winners semifinals. You've got to pick into your own strengths more so than anything else, and Like the Hard Rock 3 pick would definitely do that for them. Interestingly enough, we've seen Hidden be untouched between these two teams. They're actually going to go with Nomad 1 instead. So even with Hard Rock 1 banned out, they've still got 2 more aim consistency picks to go towards. And that's where they're going to pivot here in set number 2, is toward that aim consistency, both at the high BPM and high approach rate, and at the lower BPM and more comfortable approach rate for the majority of players.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that Hard Rock 1 was banned by them, but it is semifinal stage. We've had this draft format for quite a bit of time now, so not knowing the pick and ban order is kinda inting a bit. But it will be at least still recoverable. As you said, the other 2 picks that they picked are still just that, generic aim maps, much like Hard Rock 1. Pretty much the same ballpark. So it's not going to be a disaster for them, and it's going to be free mod 2 as Whispering Almond's last pick. We did see P-Model ban that out last time.
Yeah, no surprises that free mod 2 gets picked up after it was banned out in set number 1. Instead, the Hard Rock 1 ban comes out from P-Model by accident, so they do not get to ban either free mod 2 or no mod 6. Interestingly enough, no mod 6 not picked up by Whispering Almond here in set 2, either paying respects to the wasted ban from P-Model or just not wanting to pick that map and instead going with the 2 free mods here at the end. Regardless, they will not be going for no mod 6 a second time now. It's going to be double time 3, however, the first pick for P-Model. They do still have those 4 really incredible speed players on their team. We didn't see them on Double Time 3, but we saw them on Nomad 5 and DT2 in set number 1, put up some pretty fantastic scores. So I'm excited to see what they can do on Double Time 3, the highest BPM speed map in the pool, as we get some players who are really known for their speed and only their speed coming in for the P-Model roster.
I'm actually kind of surprised to just see Hidden completely untouched by either team. Both teams have a very, very competent Hidden roster. Especially, as well as Hard Rock. No one picking into Hard Rock 3 is quite surprising, but we will be getting into a map we haven't seen yet. This was banned by Whispering Almond last time. DT3 is going to be the speed burst map of the day here. P-Model did win the other one, Nomad 5, last time around, and it's going to be the exact same roster for that. Majora, Utami, Sawada, Arnold for P-Model. Whispering Almond, Fancy, Kablaze, Mathy, Bubbleman.
Definitely still quite a good roster for both of these teams. A little interesting to see Fancy Lad in for this, actually. If you're looking at the rosters from Nomad 5 last time around on the other super high BPM pick in Nomad, that 260 BPM map, we did see Azerite and Bartek in instead of Fancy Lad and Kablaze, so 2 roster swaps there for Whispering Almond. Of course, the same roster, same 4-man roster for P-Model on speed. No real surprises there. Those are the 4 players who were very clearly drafted to go in for every speed map for this team. Kablaze is having a little trouble joining the lobby. We'll get in everybody in just a second as we get into our first map of set number 2 between these 2 teams.
And with how Nomad 5 went, I feel like this does favor P-Model on paper, but Whispering Almond not a slouch with their speed roster at all by any means. This is quite a bit longer than Nomad 5 is. Almost 3 minutes to the length on this one.
No early breaks from either team. Right now, the accuracy doing the work, increasing the score lead for P-Model. 2 members still above 99%, Sawada and Arnold, those 2. 98% as well for Majora and Utami. Lots of the members of Whispering Almond struggling to get above that 97% mark. Only Mathy finding that doable right now. But we do see a combo break come through for Sawada. Despite the high accuracy, the combo not following along, as everybody else still holding on to FC. It looks like Bubbleman had a reverse choke, missed in the first 50 combo or so of the map. But Sawada's really struggling to hold on to a consistent combo here. Does still have the high accuracy, Score's not taking that much of a dent at this point, but eventually that combo lead is going to start to come to fruition for Whispering Almond unless another player on their team matches that combo break.
Yeah, the accuracy is what's key here. Kablaze holding the FC, but below 93% for her. Tommy missing on single taps?
It looked like over-tapping. Luckily, it was traded with Kablaze's miss on the side of Whispering Almond. So it's not disaster for P-Model, but like we said, Sawada, that extra combo break is now doing some work for Whispering Almond and needs to be matched by somebody other than Kablaze. She does find another set of slider breaks, but it looks like that actually might be enough. The accuracy is so good for P-Model. 98.5 on both Majora and Arnold's full combos, and even the supporting score is 98.7 for Sawada, 97 for Utami, compared to only Matthew above that 98% mark, 96% for both Bubble and Fancy over on Whispering Almond. It's going to be close, but there goes Fancy's combo, and that should be enough to bring it over to P-Model.
Yeah, assuming no other unfortunate breaks happen here, this is definitely looking to be shaping up in P-Model's favor. Accuracy helping them a ton here in this map. Bubbleman dropping even more accuracy on that burst. It's going to be solidifying this lead, and probably P-Model's first point on the board for this set. Once again, winning the speed-oriented map with a really, really solid team score of 3.6 million.
God, you've got to love Arnold 24x24, man. Look at this dude.
What is that? That is a lot of S ranks.
Oh my god, so many slider breaks. Slider break from Fancy Lad with Bubbleman, Utami, and Sawada. And 3 full combos on that map for Arnold, Majora, and Matthew. All above 98% on the full combos as well. Really well done from both teams, honestly, but you've got to love some of these speed players for P-Model putting up really, really fantastic accuracy across the board. Not a single member below 97% accuracy.
And we're going to be getting, with that, P-Model winning their first pick. It's now Whispering Almond's turn to have 2 picks to themselves. Nomad 3, this was played last time, although this was pretty close the last time it was played. I believe an 80k point difference? Yes, 80k points. And that was mostly off the fact that FG Sky was sub 300k on this map. But this was still a very contentious pick for both teams. I'm quite surprised to see Whispering Almond pick this first, rather than something a bit more comfortable like, say, Nomad 6, as we mentioned.
So we maybe see a sub out for FG Sky on this map. If you are P-Model, you maybe try somebody else in for the roster on that map just to see if you can get a higher score. Or you leave FG Sky in and say, no, he says, no, I just underperformed, I can do better. But it is going to be the sub in. It looks like it is Arnold subbing in for FG Sky this time around. Still, Badu, Fancy, Bubble, and Airyu for Whispering Almond. No changes to their roster, so this is going to be slightly interesting. We'll see if Arnold can outperform FG Sky, and honestly, if these full combos can stay true for both teams, Badu and Reedcat both full comboed this map last time around, and Badu's accuracy was a major reason why this pick went over. I had over 98% accuracy on the full combo.
Yeah, early stages of the map here. Nothing too concerning to talk about. This map is fairly consistently difficult, but no one really having too much trouble with it yet. Actually, intercamming with an early miss. I did not even see that. So that will be combo advantage for Whispering Almond in the early stages of this map here, as well as accuracy advantage. Airyu going to be missing on the 1/3 pattern there, though. Intercamming does trade it, so Whispering Almond still slightly in the favor here.
Yeah, Intercamming not having the best of times on this map for sure. Everybody else still full comboing though halfway through. Actually, Airyu also dropping alongside Intercamming. It's just Yeah, slightly better times for Aryu right now is really where a lot of this score lead is coming from. We do see an accuracy advantage for Whispering Almond as well, about 1% up for both Fancy and Badiou, and about 2% up for Bubbleman. 98.8% accuracy for Bubble right now. Looking very, very strong on this map. We do see a combo break for Aryu come through as well now. Intercamping, holding on to some combo, but there goes Utami on the slider break. And now it's 3 full combos, make that 2, as Badiou drops as well now, unable to replicate the same full combo as before. There goes Arnold, however, does do his job and get a higher score than before, but there goes Bowman as well now. It's Reed Cat and Fancy Lad holding on to full combos, but I just don't think there's enough map left. This should still go over to Whispering Almond, and it should be 1-1 here at the end of the first map.
It does get a bit close at the end there, but definitely a wider margin of victory for Whispering Almond here. That is going to be a 150k point win. Reedcat with another FC on this map. Fancy taking the reins from Badiou on Whispering Almond this time around. Bubbleman as well with a 1 miss. Utami with a very unfortunate slider break. And that's going to tie things up 1-1. Whispering Almond's next pick, Free Mod 1.
Yeah, this map,
this map is hard.
Very hard. Yeah, I think it's a good way to put it. Even in spite of that, in Osu True Skill versus we saw a 2.5 million team score from Osu True Skill. Ryunata top scoring the map with hidden 740k on this. It's 274 BPM jumps, snap aim jumps at that BPM. And then 1/3 streams, so 181, 182 BPM on the 1/3 streams. Heavy flow aim requirement on the streams. Really high star rating, snap aim requirement for that BPM on this map, either with no mod or hard rock. Obviously, the star rating for hard rock going to go way up. It's actually the highest star rating in the pool if you take hard rock on this map, excluding the tiebreaker with hard rock. So very, very difficult map in terms of the raw skill required to deal with a lot of the patterns in this map, but also very similar to a lot of the alt maps in this pool. Lots of aim control required, lots of flame required, and lots of finger control required to switch between the 1/3, 1/2 patterns in this map.
And since this is free mod, I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but this is free mod. Hard Rock and Hidden are required on at least 1 player each for those mods. And Hard Rock makes this map exponentially harder. I don't imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of I don't imagine we're going to be seeing good scores from the Hard Rock players. This map is incredibly hard with Hard Rock, even more so than it already is. Going to be Intercamming Utami, Reedcat, Arnold for P Model, Aryu, Badiou, Kablaze, Bubbleman for Whispering Almond, Reedcat, Aryu on the Hard Rocks, Arnold, and no one? Okay, we might be getting an abort here.
I think we are. We have no hiddens for Whispering Almond.
Either that or we are just getting...
there we go.
Yeah, we were getting trolled. Awesome. Cool.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Double banjo here. First the fancy incident, and now no hidden modification on Kablaze somehow. We love the tourney client. Anyway, early drop for Reedcat, like 40 combo into the map. Probably not going to matter all that much. He's taking the Hard Rock, matching Aryu's Hard Rock for Whispering Almond. Hidden for Arnold and Kablaze on either team, and then Intercamping and Utami, no mod for P Model. Badiou and Bubbleman, no mod for Whispering Almond. This is the type of map where your skill cap players you likely want to put onto the no mod, but when you've got some mod 1 tricks like Arnold and Reedcat with Hidden and Hard Rock on the side of P Model, I think you can reasonably expect them to still do very, very well. Similarly, for Kablaze on Hidden, Aryu on Hard Rock, they should be pretty okay for this Whispering Almond team. We do see a drop from Utami and Bubbleman, both on no mods. Intercamping also dropping on the 1/3 stream, so it is 3 full combos to kind of 2. Reedcat and Arnold still holding the high combos. Reedcat on the reverse choke and Arnold on the FC. It is Aryu, Badiou, and Kablaze still holding FCs for Whispering Almond right now.
Yeah, early stages of the map still, this is fairly lengthy of a map pick, around 4 minutes long. So these This combo advantage can easily shift over, and it just does with Kablaze missing there. It's going to be Airyu pretty much tying Reedcat now, and Arnold tying Badu with the supporting combo from intercamming and Utami. Much better for P-Model.
But there goes Arnold, actually finds a slider break on the hidden, and now you've got an extra unanswered full combo once again. Really for Airyu here, the score from Reedcat is matching Badu's no-mod full combo rather than Airyu's Hard Rock FC because of that reverse choke, the very early miss for Reedcat. Doing some work keeping the combo lead on the side of Whispering Almond. We do see everybody hit that 1/3 stream. It looked like intercamming and Utami still holding good supporting scores, good recovery from them. Bubbleman, however, matching, it looks like the combo from intercamming as Utami slightly higher supporting combo than Kablaze, but with Reedcat dropping the last high combo on the side of P-Model, this is now entirely Whispering Almond's playground. They've still got these 2 full combos for Airyu on the Hard Rock and Badu on No-Mod. Hard Rock full combo over 2/3 of the way through now. Now the last full combo up for Airyu, actually. As Badu drops, he's still doing Hard Rock full combo? He still has the Hard Rock full combo right now?
Can we just talk about that for a second? Can we just talk about how dumb that is for a second? Like,
this map is 7.5 stars Hard Rock. What is he doing?
Well, a third of the map remaining, still holding strong on that. The combo advantage is slightly in favor of P-Model now, with Utami and intercamming, as well as Arnold recovering very nicely here. Utami, as I say, that misses, unfortunately. So it will be... And there goes intercamming. Okay, well...
Finally a miss from Airyu. Oh my lord. I was going to be illegal if he completed the Hard Rock full combo.
Look at him shake!
Holy.
Look at this guy go!
Yeah, that's sort of the shakes you expect after you combo that far into a map like this, right? Bubbleman, however, there to take up the reins as Airyu drops the last high combo on Whispering Almond. Bubbleman with 1300 combo, matching Arnold's combo over on the side of P-Model, keeping the score lead in their favor, making sure that they are able to secure the win on their own pick. Really, really strong combo from Airyu. Bubbleman as well, comboing well through the first half and then just comboing all the way through the second half of the map. 1400 combo by the end of that one. 700k for him as well as Airyu.
Wait, that's
on
an
the
S
Hard
rank
Rock.
Arnold?
That is really incredible. That is an S rank for Arnold. And single-digit miscount for basically everybody on this map. I mean, those are pretty fantastic scores.
A top score with Hard Rock on that map is something I would never have imagined of, but here we are, I suppose. So that is going to be Whispering Almond's second point. However, that was their pick, and now we get P-Model back-to-back picks. DT1 and No-Mod 1, we are going aim day, aim training.
Yeah, this is just aim. Like you said, there's not a lot going on here. It's AR 10.3, and it's 248 BPM. It's also relatively high star rating, but with it being 248 BPM, the jumps are still closer together than they are on No-Mod 1 or Hard Rock 1, so there's not as much distance to cover. It'll feel relatively similar in difficulty because of that, despite the inflated star rating on this map. So, lots of really difficult jumps, and that's about it. This map isn't super bursty. It's not meant to be a test of speed. There are a couple speed checks here and there, but nothing too difficult to deal with if you're not semi-competent at the BPM.
And quite the toss-up pick for pretty much any team is usually the aim maps. You can just go either way. You can go in feeling confident, you know, you can be like, we're gonna four-way this, we are baller at aim, and then everyone just misses, and then it's just like, oh, well, that kind of sucks.
It's possible, that's for sure. We do see intercamping in for this, notably, instead of Sawada. Majora is still in, pretty much the double-time player on P-Model's side. Intercamping, however, going in instead of Sawada, because this is the aim map. Fancy Lad, Matthew, Bartek, and Airyu in for Whispering Almond. Early misses for both Fancy and Airyu, and Bartek now as well with a slider break at the end of the intro for Whispering Almond.
Struggle.
4 full combos to 1.
Yeah, struggling to get used to the 10.3 here, especially after playing Free Mod 1. Not too surprising, but they will be settling in after those early breaks. It does mean P-Model gets a bit of an advantage early on here, especially with the 99% from pretty much everyone except for intercamping here on P-Model's side. That is going to be massive accuracy advantage for them. Fancy as well with a drop on this first chorus.
You finally see a combo break for intercamping, but it's matched by Airyu, so it's no advantage to Whispering Almond. Matthew, the only full combo left up for them. Bartek does have supporting combo, but it's not quite the FC that would put them in contention to keep the score lead close. With Utami, Majora, and Arnold still holding all 99% plus. 99.6 and 99.8 for Majora and Arnold as well. Really, really high AC on these full combos. Matthew as well with 99.7% accuracy. Like, all of the players who are full comboing have very, very good AC right now.
Yeah, they definitely play aim maps, I will say that much for sure. But it will be P-Model making the score gap bit more sizable with these 3 FCs to their name compared to, I would argue, basically 2. You could pretty much call Bartek's at least somewhat of an FC. Okay, never mind, now you can't.
And now you cannot, and that's a pretty major drop, right? That was a big combo. They're keeping Whispering Almond close in contention with Fancy and Airyu as well as supporting combos, but now it is really just Matthew on the full combo. Utami, Majora, and Arnold all still holding 2/3 of the way through. Coming up on the last quarter of the map now, we do see a slider break drop from Utami, intercamping, and Arnold all at the same time, and now suddenly it is very, very not one-sided anymore. Matthew matching the full combo from Majora, and Fancy and Airyu holding through that section means big combo lead now for Whispering Almond from those supporting combos. It's still 350k in P-Model's favor. Is there enough map for this to come back? Can they hold through the ending as well?
200k point gap, but that is going to be closing very, very rapidly. And Majora slider breaking as well. That doesn't help things at all. This score lead is rocketing. It is going. We are going to Whispering Almond, coming back in the last few seconds of the map here, and that is just... Oh no.
It's just utter collapse from P-Model at the end there. Every member on the high combo. 1 slider break for Arnold, 1 slider break for Majora, 1 miss for Utami, and it's just not quite enough to hold off the full combo from Matthew, and those 2 high supporting scores from Airyu and Fancy near the end there. They had the high combo to back up that FC from Matthew and bring the score back over. Fantastic accuracy from Matthew as well on that full combo, right? 99.7% accuracy, 4 100s on that FC. He got over 1.2 million score by himself. He did so much work to bring that back over, and it results in the breakpoint, now up 3-1 for Whispering Almond.
Yeah. And now, with that, after having that sort of loss, when you see yourself at that break time with a pretty sizable advantage, I would say, seeing that just utter collapse, you have to just recuperate yourself mentally and just say, all right, guys, this is no mod 1 time. We are going in for this. Just got to have an entire mental reset.
You really do have to have that mental reset, right? I mean, all 3 of those players right at the end breaking, just not quite able to hold the nerve. You've got to be able to reset and hold that nerve this time around, because you have seen what the other team can do on raw aim picks, especially after that misplaced Hard Rock 1 ban. You really want to see P-Model put up a strong showing here on these last 2 picks, to see that Hard Rock ban not bite them and not be a major part of the reason why they aren't able to pull out the win. We do now see skill coming in. Reedcat, Intercamping, and Utami all very, very strong aim consistency players, and I expect them to do pretty well on this. Badu, Kablaze, Bartek, and Airyu now in for Whispering Almond. We do see Skill have a bit of trouble joining the lobby. We'll get that reset in a second and hopefully have all 8 players show up for us. But yeah, this is do or die for P Model, right? It is 1-0 on the set score for Whispering Almond. It is set point here as well, so match point right now for Whispering Almond. P Model needs do or die for their winner's bracket run. And this match is for top 3. Both of these teams fighting for that spot in the winners finals next weekend. It would be an upset for Whispering Almond to win this. P Model is the first seed out of qualifiers. Really want to show that that placement is accurate, that they are the best team in this tournament, and they've got their work cut out for them if they want to show that.
We've got a 4-minute long map here with raw aim consistency test. Stop me if you've heard that one before in a tournament. Will be skill to have an early miss here. Not going to matter too much. This is a very, very long map. And I imagine we probably will not be seeing a 4-way FC. Intercaming as well, though, dropping the FC. Just seeming to really struggle to get into this map in general.
You have to take into account nerves on a map like this, too. You know, it is the winner's bracket life on the line right now for P Model, and that can play into some of the nerves. It can get in your head very easily. That is part of the reason why some players really don't like picking these inconsistency maps, and man, it is just falling apart for P Model right now. 3 players dropping Intercambing and Reedcat recently. Skill near the beginning of the map. It's only Utami with the full combo, but luckily Kablaze and Airyu do drop those full combos for Whispering Almond. It is Badu and Bartek still holding FCs, and supporting combo starting to come back into it for P Model right now. It's only a 100, 120, 130,000 score lead for Whispering Almond, so still definitely winnable for P Model as we go into the second half of the map. An ever so slight advantage for Whispering Almond, but P Model definitely still in it. This FC from Utami doing a lot of work to try and keep them in the match right now.
Badu SS, by the way. Never
yeah,
mind.
to say something.
Yeah, that's what I get. I swear. That's what happens whenever I say, hey, nice FC, Bartek.
Uh-huh.
Didn't work that time. Okay, we'll get him next time.
Unlucky. Mission failed. But, yeah, oh, there it is, actually. There it is. Delayed response time on the drop, but there go 4 combos. Airyu, Bartek, and Reedcat alongside Skill all dropping, and now it is an ever so slight supporting combo lead for P Model. Intercamping higher combo than Kablaze, and Tommy matching the full combo from Badu. So we do see a combo lead for P Model. Score lead starting to go back over to their side as everybody holds on besides Kablaze in that big jump section, and that now solidifies that combo lead over to P Model. Utami intercamming, they're going to see they need to hold on to these FCs. The same can be said for Badu going into now the highest spacing section of the map. The last Ki time is going to decide it here for these players. P Model with the winner's bracket on the line, and Whispering Almond hoping to just close it out and be done with semi-finals and move on to winners finals instead. Everybody still holding at this point. These big jumps not tripping up anybody so far.
The first miss from either player on either team is going to be detrimental and crucial here, but no one does! No one misses on that section, and now it's just the ending. P Model with the slight lead, but if they miss on this, Reedcat missing, and that might just do it!
It doesn't look like it's going to be enough, though. I think it's just barely going to stay on the side of P Model. It's so close, but 30k, 27k, less than 27k is still enough for a dub. They're still able to take it. It's 3-2 now. Still in the favor of Whispering Almond, but P Model are able to hold on. They are able to take that pick. Utami with the 4 100s. Badu with 2 100s on the full combo, by the way. Still fantastic accuracy, fantastic play from him. That is why he is so scary on some of these aim maps, but P Model just barely able to edge it out. That supporting combo advantage near the end of the map, doing so much work.
Now get into free mod 2 for Whispering Almond's last pick. P Model needs to take this break point to get tiebreaker, and if not, Whispering Almond will be advancing in the winner's bracket to meet El Dupa.
This is a really interesting pick, though. This is a map that P-Model banned out in the first set, right? Very similar sort of map to No Mod 6, a little less extreme in terms of the accuracy requirement on this map. A little more on the flow aim rather than the awkward snap aim on this map as well. And you really got quite a lot of very difficult patterns in this map to deal with, especially on Hidden or Hard Rock. The density on Hidden and the accuracy requirement on Hard Rock just bump it up that next level. They're going to struggle to find players who are extremely good on a map like this, but these teams certainly have the rosters that they can field to be competent to put a 4-man roster up on this sort of map that is able to perform regardless of mods or no mods.
We'll be seeing Airyu, Kablaze, Bubbleman, Fancy in for Whispering Almond, Intercaming, Utami, Arnold, Reedcat in for P-Model. I imagine probably a similar story to what we saw in Fremod 1, Arnold Hidden, Reedcat Hard Rock, Airyu Hard Rock, and Kablaze Hidden, while we just have Intercaming, Utami, Bubbleman, Fancy on those no mods. We'll see if that is correct or not. I am so good at predicting.
There we go. We've got, basically those same mods. Intercambing and Utami taking no mod isn't too much of a surprise here. Bubbleman and Fancy being the rocks now as well for Whispering Almond makes quite a lot of sense. And in fact, this is basically the same rosters that we saw on Fremod 1 for both of these teams. Arnold with an early drop on the Hidden, Kablaze as well with an early drop on Hidden. But Intercambing with an early drop on no mod is what is making the score difference right now between these two teams.
It's also the ACK difference. You have Intercaming below 90%. Bubbleman is almost at 99. Airyu at 98 with Hard Rock, mind you. That will be dropping with that 1-6 burst, but still, the accuracy advantage is just massively in favor of Whispering Almond right now.
Yeah, it really is big in favor of Whispering Almond at the moment. 91-92 for Intercambing and Reedcat on the side of P-Model, and it's just not looking great as we continue to see combo breaks come through for Intercambing, and still 3 full combos, or basically 3 full combos for Whispering Almond. Bubbleman, it looks like on the reverse choke, but really not all that far behind in FC. You can still basically call it that. We do see Utami and Reedcat continue to full combo, but that extra FC from Bubbleman and the supporting combo from Kablaze are more than enough to create a score lead. It's still tenuous at this point. We do see collapse from Whispering Almond. It can go over. No, it's collapse from Utami instead. Does find the combo break. Fancy Lad matches it, however. Kablaze also drops now, and there's a lot of the combo breaks that we were needing to see.
There's Airyu!
Drops on the Hard Rock.
And, okay, never mind.
Yeah, but there go Arnold and Reedcat, and despite all the breaks right at the end for Whispering Almond, it is now just Bubbleman left alone to complete the FC, or complete the reverse choke in his case, and to set up Whispering Almond for the winners finals. That is going to be GG, and it is going to be the end of P-Model's reign in the winners bracket. The first seed has been taken down. Whispering Almond, a 2-0 victory here to secure top 3, secure the badge as well for all of their players now in the winners finals against El Dupa.
And P-Model will be dropping into the losers bracket to face off against for their first matchup in the losers bracket for finals weekend. They are not out of the tournament yet. They still have the potential.
They do still have the potential. They can make the comeback run happen, so good luck to them in the losers bracket. Good luck to Whispering Almond in winners finals next weekend.